What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends. Got kind of a cool team we're going to be checking out today. I did finally manage to build my speed farm team for Spider 25. I've had these champions for a little while, just sitting around, haven't been able to get around to build them, but I finally stopped being lazy and decided to make this team. I was farming Spider 20 because I had a 9-second team there with Lydia and 4 of my Cold Hearts, but I figured it was time to move on, build more of an end-game team to use on Spider 25 so we can get some more points in clan versus clan, and also hopefully get a better drop rate on some epic and legendary accessories. So here we have the team. It's basically Renegade, 2 of my Cold Hearts, Achak the Wenderin, and Sicia Flametongue. Now you can achieve similar results using Tyrant, Ixelmore, or Akoth the Seared, if those champions are a little bit more accessible for you. But Sicia is one of my favorite champions. I pulled her a couple of months ago and just haven't gotten around to building her yet. But she's like my favorite looking champion in the entire game. But she is basically the most effective at this strategy, which is basically getting in a double HP burn nuke before the spider can heal herself. So we have our 2 Cold Hearts in, both mainly to get their Heart Seekers off a couple of times and make sure they're doing a little bit of damage, and also keeping the spider's turn meter for building up to where she can heal herself. So that's what helps us have the amount of time to get in this quick time here. Achak is going to be putting out a freeze on all of the spiderlings, so they will not actually do anything when their turn comes around. Once in a while she'll miss a freeze, but it doesn't really matter. We're still able to complete this. Even if one of the Cold Hearts does die, we're still able to finish this off. And then of course we have Renegade in to help our cooldowns come back faster. So that's kind of how this team works. Renegade is the slowest here, so she goes after everyone else and helps them get their cooldowns back a little bit quicker. But so that's the basic gist behind it, is you've got the Heart Seeker on Cold Heart going in to do some damage and also reduce the turn meter. Achak to keep all the spiderlings controlled, and then Sicia is going to put out her HP burn on all the spiderlings, and then she's going to take an extra turn and use her HP burn nuke, which is going to do a big chunk of damage to the big spider, as you can see. I know there's a lot of letters and numbers flying around on the screen, but you can kind of get an idea of how this works. And in just a minute, we'll jump into the champion page and take a look at how we have everyone built here. We'll take a look at the speeds, all the other numbers that we've got running, and we also do have some presets on this team to make sure that it runs correctly, and we'll take a look at those too in just a minute. But pretty exciting, very happy we actually did get this down to a consistent, usually between 29 and 33 second run on Spider 25. It's pretty cool, and I'm really happy to be able to share this composition with you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump back into the Bastion. We'll go and take a look at the Great Hall and take a look at how all of these champions are built, so you can get an idea if this is a team that you may be able to assemble on your own account. Alright guys, we are back here in the Bastion on the main account, and before I go in to take a look at these champions that we're using on Spider 25, I always like to go in and show you guys the Great Hall so you can get an idea of where we are getting some extra stats from champions that we are using. Most importantly here, we're basically looking at crit damage and accuracy for our Cold Hearts, and also for our HP burns and hitting the freeze on our Achak the Wenderin, so you can kind of get an idea where we're getting some of that from here in the Great Hall. Let's get rid of these awful deals and go into the champions so we can kind of take a look at who we're using. So first off, here we have my Sicia Flametongue. Again, one of my favorite champions in this game. She just looks amazing, and she is the one who does enable this super fast farm on Spider 25. You can also do it with Tyrant or Akoth the Seared. You can get similar results, but it's just best to go with Sicia if you do have her on your account. So you can kind of see here how we have her built. We got her at 209 speed. This allows all of the spiderlings to come out before she puts down her HP burn, which kind of ensures that we're going to land as many HP burns as possible to get that spider's health down. Now, I actually do not have her masteries finished at all. You can see here we're kind of still in process of finishing that up. So it just shows you how effective she is, even without any of that done. So she's the main component of this team that really enables us to get that really fast time down there, around 30 seconds. And then we do have our one epic on the team, Achak the Wenderin. So just have, I think it's a her, if I remember correctly. So I just have her basically in all perception gear, the way she's set up here. So we're at 209 speed, 298 accuracy, and that's mainly just to be hitting that freeze debuff that she does put out. I believe it's on the Frostfire Gale here. So you got that chance for the freeze. Now every once in a while, one of the spiderlings will get missed. It's really not a big deal. You can usually still salvage it and get a successful run. And you can see the masteries here. We did go with Fearsome Presence to kind of help us get that freeze out there a little bit. So that's how we have Achak built. And then the rest are all going to be rares. Obviously, we're going to have Renegade here, who is pretty important for doing the reset, or getting our cooldowns. She doesn't really do a full reset, but she knocks some time off the cooldowns by 2 turns. So that helps us get our Heartseekers back around, helps us get a refresh on our HP burn, so that we can go ahead and nuke down the spider much faster. I don't think I had done anything with her masteries at all. Actually, was building her a little bit with accuracy because she does have some useful debuffs on some of her other skills, and I actually do have her in a reflex set, funny enough, to hopefully trigger and get the cooldown back, so you can actually get that reduced cooldown back faster sometimes. So it's kind of how she's built there. You see 184 speed, she is the slowest in the comp, so that she will go after everyone else and knock the cooldown on their abilities back down. Everyone else is above the 200 speed threshold, so that they will get 2 turns in before the spider or the spiderlings go. And then finally, we do have our 2 cold hearts. I do have 4 cold hearts that I run on this account, mainly for my Spider 20 farm, which I'm probably not going to do anymore now that I do have a pretty solid Spider 25 farm in place. So we got cold heart number 1. She's at 258 accuracy, 210 speed, 249% crit damage. So she's pretty solid right there. Mainly we got her in there to make sure that spider does not get the turn meter back. And then I have actually one of my other cold hearts here that I actually did some work on today before I started tuning this team. She's at 201 speed and 245% accuracy. So that way we're getting that turn meter to land, turn meter decrease to land, and the big spider is not able to heal herself up before we can finish nuking her. So that's kind of the key there. Now both my cold hearts masteries are done. I believe I've got them all the way down into Helm Smasher. A little bit, kind of a different build between each of them, so kind of just depends on which one we're using there. But I used to use the 4 of them, like I said, in Spider 20 to get that 9-second farm there. But now we're definitely going to be using these Spider 25 farm. And one other thing I do have, getting bombarded with these deals because they're putting their Black Friday deals out a little bit early. Let's go back into Spider's Den real quick so I can kind of show you guys here. We do have some presets on this team that we are using here. You can see here we do have a team setup that we're using. So if we go in here, I think they're all the way at the bottom. Kind of take a look at what we have, because Sicia's AI is kind of stupid sometimes. It doesn't use her skills in the order that it's supposed to. So we actually do have it set up to make sure she goes first with the Firestorm, right? Because I did notice she was using the Flame Eruption before she would use this, which doesn't really make sense. And so when she does this and lands it all on the spiders, which pretty much is every single time, she's going to then use this, which will instantly activate the HP burn, kind of like an HP burn nuke, and that's where you see those big damage numbers coming in from. And then Cold Heart, we have both of our Cold Hearts set up to use Heartseeker as the opener, so that will get the cooldown knocked down, and we can use that twice. I don't think HAC has anything. And then Renegade, I think, is just as normal. So that's kind of how the setup works there on the team that you saw in action there. So that's, you know, if you're thinking about doing something similar, that's kind of the way I set it up for my auto runs, and pretty much works all the time, and just giving me now a pretty fast farm on Spider 25. So pretty excited about this new team. Obviously it's not a new team for a lot of people out there, but for me it's a new team, and I'm just excited to finally get a pretty fast farm in place for this later game dungeon. It's pretty cool to be able to do this now. Hopefully we'll be able to get some better gear drops, and it will help out for clan versus clan as well. As always, guys, if you have any questions about anything that you saw in the video, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. I'll do my best to get you an answer as soon as I can. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.